It's now time to announce a very special recipient of the Sports Car Club of America's highest honor during our 80th anniversary year.
My fellow SCCA members, it is an extraordinary privilege to be here tonight to introduce the recipient of the 2024 Woolf Barnato Award, the highest honor bestowed by the SCCA. This award recognizes unparalleled contributions to our club and the world of motorsport. Nicholas Craw is not just a name etched in the history of our club, he is a beacon of integrity, intellect, and vision. In May 1983, during the same SCCA Board of Directors meetings that launched Nick's role as SCCA President and CEO, he entrusted our company, today known as Racer Media and Marketing, with the responsibility of publishing Sports Car magazine for our club. That decision marked the beginning of a 4-decade-long relationship that was one of the great privileges of my life. But beyond business, Nick became my life mentor, a role model, and a cherished friend. Nick's leadership of the SCCA wasn't just effective, it was transformational. During his 17-year record tenure as president and CEO, he pioneered initiatives that redefined member benefits, access to motorsports participation, and financial stability in the sport. The catastrophic insurance program he introduced became an industry standard. His Spec Racer initiative revolutionized amateur racing and ushered in a new age of accessible spec categories across the sport. On the track, Nick was equally inspiring. I had the privilege of watching him race professionally in the SCCA and in IMSA in the 1970s, where his skill and determination earned him championships and respect from racers he shared the grid with. Nick has worn many hats in his extraordinary career, from racer to director of the Peace Corps, to president and CEO of the SCCA, to director of U.S. Sailing, to president of ACCUS, and concurrently, the president of the FIA Senate, where he became the first and only American to hold that esteemed position. Yet through all these roles, one thing has remained constant: Nick's unwavering commitment to excellence, integrity, and the betterment of every organization he served. A year ago, I was the recipient of this prestigious award, and I can tell you it was one of the greatest honors of my life. But tonight, introducing my hero, my mentor, and my dear friend Nick Craw as the 2024 Woolf Barnato Award winner surpasses even that. Nick, you didn't just lead the SCCA, you saved it. You didn't just inspire racers, you empowered them. And you didn't just advise me, you inspired me. As you changed my life for the better in every way possible by your faultless example. It is with immense pride, deep gratitude, and a heartfelt admiration that I ask you all to join me in congratulating Nicholas Craw, the 2024 SCCA Woolf Barnato Award recipient.
Thank you, Paul, for those very kind remarks. The histories of the prior recipients are truly impressive, and so this surprises and makes me very humble. The overriding emotion that I felt upon the call from Mike Cobb was gratitude, not so much for the honor, but for the multitude of people who made it possible. My association with SCCA began with a chance encounter at a dinner. It so happened that the host was an SCCA member and a racer who ended up introducing me to a long-held dream of racing. Without that meeting and his mentorship, my entire career spanning 50 years, both on and off the track and all over the world, could never have happened. I will be eternally grateful to that first SCCA member, more than I could ever repay. And now there are so many more to thank. From my earliest days in racing, I couldn't help but notice how many people it took to put on these events, all volunteers, often working in miserable conditions. When I became CEO 6 years after retiring from driving, my gratitude for their service stimulated the groundbreaking $500,000 catastrophic insurance program. Huge thanks to the thousands of workers who kept us safe over so many events. My association with SCCA did not end with my employment. In my FIA role, a number of grants were steered to SCCA, one of the more notable being the seed money to start the very successful Track Night in America program. Paul spoke of leadership in his introduction. My particular model involves surrounding myself with people smarter than I am and allowing them to innovate and take risks. If we ever achieved successful new programs, they were the drivers, and I was generally just guiding and keeping an eye on them, praising them for success, but never punishing them for trying. I was blessed with a remarkable staff who grew the club in stature and financial viability over my 17-year tenure. All credit to them, SCCA members all. There is one important group of SCCA members who usually only hear the complaints, but who also deserve our thanks: the SCCA Board of Directors. They were invaluable as a sounding board, but also because they gave me unparalleled freedom to perform as their first ever CEO. The board signed off on the creation of SCCA Enterprises to support some 800 spec racers, spinning off pro racing as a for-profit entity, and funding the SCCA Foundation, launching the World Challenge Series, just to name a few. However, no partner was more involved in propagating our message and SCCA's brand than Paul Pfanner and his dedicated team at Sports Car. For 17 years, they were our primary voice to the membership and the motorsports world at large, reliably creating a quality product every single month without fail. Heartfelt thanks to them all, SCCA members all. Long after I left SCCA and was hired to head up ACCUS, 2 guesses where my first phone calls went for staffing up the new Denver office. 2 former 20-year SCCA employees. Much of the success that ACCUS and FIA enjoyed over the next 15 years is attributable to their smooth running of the office, while I was often out of the country, accumulating some 2 million frequent flyer miles. To bring this family story full circle, SCCA brought me together with the love of my life at the runoffs at Road Atlanta. Many thanks for that wonderful gift. My message to all the members at SCCA: always remember to acknowledge those who helped you along the way. It doesn't cost anything and is infinitely precious. Thank you again, and good night.
On behalf of the SCCA Board of Directors, SCCA staff, and SCCA membership at large, I want to congratulate each of our award winners tonight. Our Hall of Fame inductees, Ken Miles, Sam and Miles Collier, Alex Keller, Raleigh and Velma Breen, and Bob Dowie. Nick Craw, this year's Woolf Barnato Award winner, and I also want to congratulate our Member of Excellence winner, Matt Wakovic. All have contributed greatly to this club, and all help lay the foundation that we stand on today. We are blessed to have them as vital members of this family that we call the Sports Car Club of America.